Are there angels in the wilderness? I don't know. I've not my doubts, but if you say so. But I got a feeling that we're doing okay.
Hello, and welcome to Music is the Drug, the Cowboy Junkies podcast. I'm Dave Bowler, and I wrote the band's biography, Music is the Drug. Today we're looking at a song that came from the Wilderness, which was the fourth album in the Nomad Series. Angels in the Wilderness is a song that the band have been playing quite a lot in their recent concerts, but it's one that went perhaps a little unnoticed at the time of its release. Maybe it's one of those that just got a little bit lost in amongst the avalanche of songs that the Junkies released in the course of the Nomad project, as Alan Anton admits.
Yeah, I guess there was, I mean, that was kind of a blur, to tell you the truth. There's so much going on, but yeah, when it was all over, for sure, there was like, wow, that was great. That was a lot of work, and it worked out well. That was the sort of feeling about it. And then it was just a question of, what do we choose to play live out of all this stuff? There's just too many at once. Yeah, we haven't really tried to. We don't really think, oh, let's go back to that and try to do this and that. Maybe then with one or two songs, but it's not something that we focused on. That we should try to do a lot of these live, because a lot of them were actually difficult to do live, so they weren't that attractive to us to take out.
I mean, a lot of that was the what I guess you call the negative side of the Nomad series, and then we didn't tour. For a bit of that we didn't tour. We took time off the road because we were burnt out from the road, and also we needed time to do the project. Sort of a conscious choice, and a lot of these records were released very quickly, and we didn't really put much money or time into promoting them. That wasn't the idea. We wanted to get away from that sort of that cycle of release, promote, tour, and then go and start again. So, there's obvious reasons to do it like that, to release, promote, and tour, because that gets your songs out there and gets more attention. It takes a long time these days to get people to, even if they're fans, to get them to know you've got a record out. It's not like in the 90s where there was, or the 80s or 90s where there was one channel and one channel to go through, and if you tapped into enough of the outlets in that channel, you're able to reach your audience. Now there's so many out there that you have to really spend a lot of time promoting. So yeah, so I think we lost a lot of these songs were lost because of that, for sure. So it's kind of I know there's a lot of songs sitting there that we still even haven't played live very much, that hopefully we'll slowly bring them back into the live set, and this is being one of them. It's one of my favorite songs, like as far as lyrics go. And we performed it in a very odd way on the record, and maybe didn't put it across in the best way it could have been put across, or maybe it was put across in the best. I don't know. It was very easily. We did it very quickly as far as the recording goes and how we approached it. And it was a song that sort of I wrote very early on in the process, before we even came up with the idea for Nomad Series. This one appears on the Wilderness in the final disc in the Nomad Series. But I'd written this song a couple of years before it, before we even started recording Nomad Series, along with a handful of other songs that appeared throughout that package. And in some ways, it kind of got lost a little bit. I feel it's like one of my strongest lyrics, and again, it's one of my. I don't know. Maybe because it's so personal. There's a very personal song in there, and maybe that's why I like it so much. My attempt is to try and get it back out on the road with us, and maybe put it into the acoustic set, and have just me and Margot play it, and sort of change it around a little bit, so that we can start to get it out there. Because I think it deserves a larger listening audience, anyways.
So I remember you playing it. I guess it'd be about 2008, and it was a lighter area thing musically than the one that made it to the record, which is a bit more sort of contemplative, I guess.
I think that's probably why why it hasn't really made its way into our set, because it's our live set, because we never really found the way to properly present it as a band, because the lyrics are pretty intense. It's an extremely intense song, and it's a very personal song, and I think that the singer has to be singing it in a very inward way, and so I don't know. It's just it's still a puzzle to me, and maybe because it's so personal, this song, maybe that's why I've had troubles figuring out how to put it across, and maybe that's why we haven't been able to put it across as a band because others don't feel that connection to it that I do. So I don't know. It's hard. It's a hard one. As I say, it's one of my favorite ones, but it's been a hard one to get out there.
Angels in the Wilderness is one of the heaviest songs in the Junkies canon.
It's really influenced by Marilynne Robinson's book, Gilead, which was a big influence on me, and especially during this period, stole a lot of ideas from that book, even probably a few quotes. And it's a beautiful, beautiful book, and she's a great writer, a really brilliant person who's written some fantastic novels, which are based very heavily on. She's obviously a Christian, but a very interesting thinking Christian, and the way she approaches the Bible and the way she approaches biblical teachings, and so there's a lot of biblical references in here, I think, because of that book, and of course those appear throughout all my writings. I'm not a Bible scholar like she is, but they still affect me because of my indoctrination into the church at a way too young age. So there, there's some, I don't know. I just really love this song.
The "Fly Forgotten Like a Dream" refrain is taken from a hymn, I think.
Yeah, I think so. And again, I probably stole that from. There's tons of biblical quotes, and the Gilead is really written from the point of view of a father who's a minister to his very young son, and with the idea of the son reading this after he dies, after the minister dies. And so there's tons of biblical quotations, and there's quotes of hymns, and it's all about it's a very contemplative book, and so I wouldn't. Yeah, it's probably from. I wouldn't doubt that it's from a hymn. As I say, there's lots of stuff in here that I picked and chose and molded into my own into a song that I call my own. as the best start is.
The line, "I'll give you my love and watch the bitterness grow." I mean, that says a mouthful, as I used to say.
That's definitely my line for sure. That sounds like me. Yeah, I think there is that side to a relationship, where there's the unhealthy side of relationships where there's this competition for who can give the other more, and then be bitter that you've given more, like nobody's asked for it, but you've given more, and therefore you feel you deserve more back. And there's this weird and it's not always conscious, so I think that sounds like me. That sounds like my weirdness there for sure.
Enough weirdness for today. Next time we'll be back with an episode that goes all the way back to the days of the caution horses. In the meantime, Cowboy Junkie's new album, Songs of the Recollection, is out now. If you haven't got a copy yet, it's available from all the usual outlets or direct from the band at cowboyjunkies.com. You can also get a copy of the book Music is the Drug from there too. The Junkies are back on the road with new tour dates coming in all the time, in North America, all over Europe, and in Australia and New Zealand too. Keep checking the website for news of those shows. If you're a Spotify user, you can follow our growing podcast playlist. All the details of that and everything else is in the show notes. We'll see you next time.
Fly